Howdy folks! Previously on our 2025 Northern road trip, we've left Phoenix, stayed the night at Coral Pink Sand Dunes, and made our way to northern Utah at Antelope Island State Park, where we pick up today. Good morning from the shores of the Great Salt Lake in Utah. Today we leave here to head into Idaho for the next leg of our epic road trip adventure. It's maybe about a half an hour after sunrise now. Sun's now coming up and you could see the campsite here at Antelope Island State Park here in Utah, right off of the Great Salt Lake. Is all packed up and ready to go. All I have to do is close up the truck and hit the road at this point, and we're heading into regions that I have not yet ever been to. Let's start off and look at today's itinerary together, shall we? So far I'm technically ahead of schedule, but today's date is July the 25th of 2025, and you can see what I'm up to today. We're going to be driving up to an area called Bear Lake, passing into Idaho. We're going to tour a few campgrounds. I think I got 3 for today for Campvue, doing drive-thrus. And I've got several, the orange ones, are several stops, including this thing that I'm going to be driving right by, so it would be a shame not to go see it. The Napoleon Dynamite house from the movie. So today is an action-packed day, as are all of the days, but less driving in terms of hours, but a lot more stops than our first 2 trips. So now we're kind of getting into the nitty-gritty. And I wanted to get an earlier start today, so I forced myself to get up before the alarm and just got to it. So I think I'm ready. All right, I've checked my route. We're actually plotted and we're heading to Bear Lake, Utah. Some of our first stops today, but it's about a 2-hour and 45-minute drive. So we're gonna knock out a lot of today's driving up front. I mean, we still got some after that, but that's really when the good fun will start. But we'll film from the truck cab, of course, as always. Making sure, just doing one last look over. I checked outside for everything and think everything's looking good. So let's depart Antelope Island State Park. Well, I had a good night's rest again. I slept throughout the night. And see, I don't want to put down the sunshade or else it'll block the camera partially. Kind of bummed because they do have restrooms here, but the water's turned off, so they have showers that I wasn't able to make use of. Oh well, that's how it works out sometimes. But anyway, this was a nice place. It was probably one on my, towards the bottom of my list for things that I was excited about, but it really exceeded my expectations, especially yesterday when we explored and we saw bison, a historic ranching operation, and just a really cool view. And we even walked down to the shores of the Great Salt Lake and saw weird bugs. So if you missed that episode, that would be the prelude to this one. We actually have 2 so far. Today's day 3 on this road trip. So day 3 out of the 3-week trip. Feels like we're barely putting a dent in it, but we actually are. Well, rather than film the sun, woo, it's bright, I'm gonna just get out of here, get out of the park, maybe fuel up if I can, and then we'll resume our discussion on the road. I am about 40 minutes ahead of my schedule. I have it set up where I leave at no later than 8 a.m. each day. I give myself 2 hours to break down camp and eat breakfast, so I've done both of those things this morning. Camp goes quickly, breaking it down, and then it all goes pretty quickly, so probably got it done in an hour, all of that, and now we're out of there, which was kind of the plan. I wanted to give myself opportunities for starting early. Bye, Bridger Bay Campground, you were awesome. And gotta do one last plug. check out our drive-through video on Campvue. When it comes out, I keep saying check it out as if it's out now. I don't know if it will be, probably won't. But check back if you ever want to camp here in the future, and chances are that'll be not only on YouTube, but in our app for you to review and to see the same video. Onward we go. I was surmising yesterday how I didn't feel like this was an island, you know, completely surrounded by water. And one reason is this right here.
Continue for 7 miles.
This is like this, it's hard to see it when you're driving on it, but you could see it from above. This is like a really narrow strip of land that I'm driving on. A land bridge, I guess, that connects to the mainland. But when you look at it on maps, like on Google Maps, it doesn't look like an island to me. It looks more like a peninsula that kind of goes up north. But I didn't really get to explore the southern part of the island really to get a good eye on it. So my suspicion is, if it's technically not an island, meaning it's completely surrounded by water, on that south side, it probably was at some point. I'm guessing the water levels are lower in this day and age than they used to be, because you see a lot of areas that are just dried up. So I'd like to know more about this Salt Lake one day, but just not enough time to, with everything else I have going on, to study up on that. But anyway, this is that land bridge. We are back on the interstate 15, and I got fuel and ice, and I got some gas station cappuccino. Ooh. Something different for me. Usually I just drink black coffee, but today I wanted something a little, some sweetness sounded good this morning. And this is actually, I thought I was going to be disappointed in taking a chance, but it's actually quite good. It was like this automated machine type of setup at a Shell station, so quite good. Exceeds my expectations for what I thought I was getting. And I'm surprised how much sweet I get off of that with my post-cancer treatment diminished taste, which has gotten way better since I've talked about it, but still, some things don't come through as much, but this thing is, so as long as it doesn't make my hair fall out, we're good.
That gas station cappuccino makes me a mite bit nervous when I drink it, and driving on the city highway make me very nervous. They say you ought not drink and drive, but you gotta have fun sometimes.
Whew. We're off of the interstate. We're on a state route now, 91, and it's feeling more open now. We're, I think, officially kind of on the edge of the very outer edge of the Salt Lake City area. The sections I saw of Salt Lake that I drove through, anyway, were really nice, like really nice homes, very clean. But anywho, hopefully now it's starting to become a little bit more scenic and we can get back to our usual business. Still contending with the sun a little bit though, as you could probably tell. I know the GoPro does a pretty good job taming it, but still not ideal. And we're going through some pass now here. Towards Bear Lake, there is a sign back there that had a time to Bear Lake. It's like an hour and 24 minutes. Mine now are at an hour and 18 minutes out. Not going to spend a lot of time around there, but I think there are a few spots maybe to catch views of the lake, and anything that looks cool as we pass through there is the goal. And by the way, I don't know if I said it, our destination today is Massacre Rocks State Park. in Idaho. So our first, we've done our 2 Utah, and I'm going to be at Massacre Rocks for 2 nights. So this is the first part of the trip where I actually plant roots for more than 1 night. So I don't have to break camp down one day. And it will also be the first place, I think, where I'm going to try my hand at fishing. Alright, so what I'm going to do is probably just button her up for a bit, finish drinking my gas station cappuccino, and enjoy it. And I'll try to capture some footage from the road. I'm not going to chat, but we'll just do a little montage type of thing with some music. And you can enjoy the ride with me in various stages without all of the hours of driving. This changes color, these deciduous trees here. I imagine they probably do. I imagine it's quite the sight for a nice little scenic drive. Well, I think I'm gonna shut up again and we'll just continue driving, and I'll capture footage as it strikes my fancy, but there's plenty to film back here. Been driving through here for a long time now. Ready for a leg stretch. Got about 12 minutes, I think, till we should be seeing Bear Lake. And we really got out of town and definitely have not re-entered any town, and we're in these pine forests now and mountains. It's absolutely beautiful in this area. Been really enjoying the drive tremendously, but you know, I am ready to stretch my legs, because it'll probably be what I think it said 2 hours and 45 minutes from where I departed this morning, and I'm gonna be not quite an hour ahead of my itinerary on the schedule, but close to it, so that should give me some breathing room. Not gonna take any extra time anywhere. I'm gonna try to stay with my planned schedule of stops, but wouldn't mind getting to the campground a little earlier, and maybe even this evening having some more time to just relax and do something leisurely. I have not had that the last couple days. It's pretty much been go, go, go the whole time. I feel like we've just been driving downward most of this time for the last hour or so. It's like, how is this possible? We've got a scenic overlook in a half mile. I might actually, since we're a little ahead of schedule and I've got that room to breathe, not gonna take more than maybe 5 minutes, but if it looks easy to access and not on like a blind curve or anything, I might do it. Let's see. Is it here? No, that's a campground. We're part of the Cache National Forest. It's a rest area here. Oh. Oh, man. I don't really need to use... Oh, I think I see Bear Lake, actually. It's huge. You're about to see it, too, I think. Oh, it feels good to just stand up and stretch. Been doing a lot more of that. I need it, and I'm getting old. But we'll start over here and work our way around towards where I think the lake is, but look at this. You can sample some of this terrain. A nice cool breeze up here too. It's beautiful temperatures. And if that's Bear Lake down there, that is enormous. It looks big on the map, so I'm not surprised. Bear Lake Valley. Let's walk over here. So we're probably looking at Idaho on the northern side of that lake. We're still in Utah. But we're gonna be heading up, I think, on this western side north. And then the Idaho-Utah state line is somewhere up there. But boy, it wraps all the way down and around this way. Yeah, this is a great stop, actually. I didn't see this on the maps. I would have stopped here just to get this look and survey that. See it from above. I for some reason I thought it was gonna be a really flat region, but no. I mean, down there it is, obviously, but I had no idea it was gonna be this dramatic. So let's get back in the truck and let's get on down there. I think that was like one of our biggest legs of driving for the day, and still got quite a bit to go, but a lot more frequent stops coming up with some Campvue campground drive-thrus to do in between. You're kind of on the job with me. All right, let's get on going. Lots of campgrounds that I passed here. Kind of feel bad because it's like I should have been doing these campground drive-thrus, but I plot the routes. I actually tried that, and I would just never get anything. We would never get where we wanted to go if I was focusing on all of those, so I kind of have to skip a lot. But this is an area that I had been studying on maps and will come back to. But anyway, there's your lake view. We're gonna have a good view of it, I think, coming down the mountain here. And then from there, I didn't really plan any like official stops along the lake. I just gave myself like about a half an hour to explore. If I can find, like, I don't know anything about it. Is there beach access? Is there any access? There's a state park, but I don't have time, nor do I want to spend a fee to go into a state park. And I think this state park's more of just an marina for boating and stuff, is my understanding. So I'm not really a boater at this stage in my life. Other than my little kayak, I enjoy that, but I mean like a motorboat type of scenario. Not that I wouldn't like to, it's just too cheap, I guess. I view that as a really big expense to have your own boat. And it's not cheap to rent them either, I can tell you that. Kind of was glad to stop. I was stuck in a little caravan, and I'm guessing I hit a clear point because there is a lot of construction back there, so my guess is that there's a group stuck waiting, and I'm kind of on this area where there's no cars. Man, that's a big lake. I wish I had more time for study. I assume, is this a natural lake or is this a reservoir, like a dammed up lake? Something I didn't research. There she is, Bear Lake. Alrighty. We're We're pretty much down at lake level, give or take. A couple hundred feet probably. Starting to see a lot of like...
In a quarter mile, turn left onto North 300 West, North Paradise Parkway.
Outdoor stores and fishing stuff, boats. All right, our turn is up here. And my hope is as we just go north up on the lake that we're gonna get
North 300 West, North Paradise Parkway.
Closer and be able to see better as we head to the Idaho state line. Oh boy, we got more. Today is the day of road work, it appears. So I guess it was good that I left early. I'm gonna probably not now at this point. With all these stops I've had to make, I'm pretty much eating back onto the time, but I guess it's a good thing that I left early. But by the time we're done with all these stops, all that waking up early is going to be for naught. Wow, that state park is crowded. You know, I was trying to study maps on this west side of the lake to see if there were any like pullouts or anything, any opportune places to just kind of get out, stretch my legs and look at the lake, but I didn't really see much on the map. And I'm certainly not seeing much here as we drive up this way, and I don't want to pull over in a place like that in a big old pickup truck like this. So we'll see. There may not be a stop here, and then I guess I'll get time back if that's the case. We've seen it from different vantage points. But we got a ways to go before we get up to the northern section of the lake. But it is a lot of like private property, it seems, mostly on the lake. Kind of reminds me of Tahoe, where you can't access the lake from so many places because it's private property half the time. Alright, I can see on my Google Maps coming up here is the state line. And once again, I don't know if there's an opportune place to pull over. There's the Welcome to Idaho sign. Alright, let's see if I can find a way. I wanted to pull over and film it, but I think that's going to be easier said than done here, isn't it? We'll do a drive-by. We're officially about to enter. Oh, you know what? No, there's someone's driveway there. It's like there's no good place to pull over here at all. That's where I wanted to pull over, where all those trucks are. I remember now, but they're occupying all those spaces. So another stop I am not able to to stop at. That's okay though. We got a lot to do. So welcome to Idaho. All right. Well, the next thing that I'm doing, unless I see something of interest, unless I find a place to pull over, which you've seen for yourself, there's just nowhere. So that state park was probably my best bet, but there's no way I was gonna go in there. Thought about it for a second, then I saw how many people were in there. I was like, no way. But anyway, the next stop or stops should be a sequence of campgrounds that I wanted to. They were on the way, and I selected them for Campvue drive-throughs. So I'm gonna be bouncing back and forth between a Cactus Atlas and that. We'll see. I might show you here on this video when I get there, but really it's as I've mentioned on this road trip, Campvue business is priority number one overall, and I know I've not done too much. I've only documented 2 state park campgrounds so far, but as the trip goes on, there are some days where I got one day where I might have like 15 or more campground drive-thrus to do, so there's gonna be a lot of campground heavy business in the days and weeks to come. And if you're new and haven't paid attention or whatever, I have or will have very soon announced the new Campvue app experience. So we of course have a YouTube channel where we post our drive-through videos, and then soon an app where you can watch the same videos in a much more convenient way. You can, save preferences. You can write reviews of campsites. So think of Yelp, but for campsites, that kind of thing. And this trip is really to support that launch by getting new content for some very choice campgrounds that I'm going to be filming in Montana. So I wanted to hit some really far northern states to get those out of the way, because once I get employed again, my time's going to be a lot more limited. So I figured let's knock out some heavy hitter national park campgrounds far north, and then whenever I can in the future at my leisure, taking trips, vacations, whatever, I'll start picking off all of like national forest campgrounds and stuff in these regions, such as the Cache National Forest that we drove through. I was really impressed with that area. So that's high on my list now. It was beautiful. But for now, what I'm gonna do, unless I can find a place to pull over still, we're still on the edge of this Bear Lake. It's that immense. I'm going to just make a beeline for my next campground. It's about 30 minutes out, 17 miles away. And then we may hook up. I've got some stops kind of sprinkled throughout, I think we're gonna bounce back and forth Campvue and Cactus Atlas stuff. So I'm probably gonna just stop filming for a little bit unless I see something remarkable, which everything's remarkable out here, but still I gotta be more choosy, and then we'll hook up some miles up the road. So I knocked out the first one, which was Paris Springs campground in the Cache National Forest. The next stop is actually for us, our first little activity of the day, something called the Paris Ice Caves. I know nothing about it. I just saw it on Google Maps. Looks like it's right off the road. I don't think we're going spelunking necessarily. I'm not really sure what to expect. But what I typically do is I'll look at Google Maps and I'll look for pins that people have on Google Maps with reviews or whatever, and if it sounds interesting, I plot it for these road trips. So anyway, I feel good now because I know we're going the correct way and everything's verified. So here is where this is that fork in the road again, and we want to go left. And then soon we should hit those ice caves. completely lost my map now. I did something and it got disconnected. Now I'm flying completely blind, but I have a map in my head of the 3 places I want to go, and what I saw right before I got disconnected is we should be very close to the Paris Ice Cave, whatever that's going to be. And I'm sure there's been signs so far along the way, so I don't know why they wouldn't have a sign now, and I'm hoping there's a little parking lot or something. It's a really pretty area. It's kind of opened up, and we're in national forest, so I could get the drone up too. I'd like to. I will if we can find a good place to park. There's a bunch of folks camping back there, big group, so looks like they were getting ready to head out on their side-by-sides and trucks, so it gets tight. There's a sign, so about where I was thinking we would find this thing. So let's see what it says. Got 2 choices. The ice cave is to the left, 1/2 of a mile, and then Green Basin, all that, we're not going to today, so 1/2 mile. And then we can get out, stretch our legs, and walk around a bit, hopefully. I do have headlamps and stuff. I don't know anything about this. Like, I looked at the Google reviews, if I remember. I don't know if anybody wrote anything. I didn't really, planning was hectic to plan 3 weeks of stuff. So to try to read in detail, you kind of have to move on in your planning, and then if you have time later, circle back around, but I did not. Oh, I see a bunch of cars parked there, so I bet you that's our ice cave. There's a lot of people here, though. Okay, that was unexpected. I thought I'd be the only one out here, and then turns out the frickin' place is like full to the brim. We'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna find a spot. Oh yeah, there's plenty of spots actually. We'll see. I think it's right here off the road, actually. All right, we've made it. I think whatever it is right here. There's like a big hole, looks like, so we'll walk up here and take a look. It's actually a little bit chilly. Take a look. Oh, weird. Goes down far. Oh yeah, what do you know? There's a big chunk of ice down there. I don't know if you can get down in there. You can go further, but I don't see a path to go all the way. Not easily, anyway. So there it is, the Paris Ice Cave. I was actually skeptical we'd actually see ice or anything, but sure as day. It's a big chunk. It's a little treacherous here. And I was thinking I could, if I were brave, probably could get the drone out and then get it down a little ways, but it's pretty windy though too. So I'm nervous to fly in tight quarters like this when there's a breeze coming like there is right now. A lot of people are leaving now, so I'm just checking my truck because I got GoPros mounted all over it, and I don't trust people. They're pretty high up though, but I don't know why I shouldn't trust people, but you never know. There's some bad apples out there. Man, this is pretty cool actually. I mean, looks like it'd be neat to go in. I don't know anything about it if it goes far back. Chances are we're looking at it. Nobody else is really going down, but you can see, foot where people have gone down, and I'm sure you can probably climb. I didn't come prepared for any spelunking or anything this adventurous, but I'm very pleased actually, because I was just like, how is there possibly going to be snow or ice? And I imagine it must have more at different times of the year. Some beautiful country back here though. Wasn't expecting it to be so busy, but people are coming and going for sure. Wanted to get the drone up. There's power lines here, there's wind. I mean, I can do it, but there's just so many people. Like it's just weird. I didn't pass a single person coming out, and this place is hopping, like big time hopping. So I'm not sure, like that threw me off. But we actually got to see, I think, all we could see. I wasn't gonna climb down there. I asked a couple other folks that were standing up there. I was like, so you gonna go down there? And the guy's like, no way. But it looks like you could if you wanted to. But we're gonna continue back now. And that was fun. Now I'm intrigued. I'm like, how far back does it go? Or is that really it? I see an entrance actually, another entrance over here on this side that nobody seems to be paying any mind to. I don't know if you can get in that way. That if you can, there's a trail actually, and I wish I knew about that. We could have poked our head in, but I'm not going back to that crazy parking lot now. But we got to see it. I bet you that might actually be more reasonable access if that cuts all the way through. I wouldn't have minded to touch the ice, but that's all right. The trade-off is we're back here in this what's turned into like kind of an off-road adventure I wasn't planning on today at all. So I would say another reason why it's probably a good reason or a good idea that I left early, because driving back on these roads is slow going. I still want to go for a flight, but I don't like doing it at all when there's a lot of people around, because I don't want to disturb people. You can't fly over people anyway, and if you don't have a categorized drone, and so that's why I pick and choose, I guess, when I do it. I'm a stealthy little drone pilot. Ah, some fresh mountain breeze, air out here, and beautiful meadow with these pine trees and mountains out here. Everything looks so lush and green and beautiful. I'm liking it back here a lot. All right, I think now I'm gonna get the drone up, because I love getting meadows like this with this kind of scenery, and it's pretty breezy. Not too bad though for the drone. I can handle this no problem. And the power lines are along the road, so I can keep it safe, and got a perfect vantage point up here. And then I think, let's just take a look. I think there's plenty of room. There's like a little pull off here. What do you guys think? Oh yeah. You could probably get 2 trucks side by side through this. All right, so that was a proper little leg stretch. Beautiful views. Even got to say hi to a cow down there. Way down in the field over there. But I'm gonna get back in the truck and let's go. I'm gonna go find these other couple campgrounds, and then after that we gotta find this Napoleon Dynamite house. So my hope is that I'm right, that this road cuts all the way through where I need to go. So once you get past those ice caves, this road gets pretty dang bumpy. There are some pretty rough spots. So I don't know if you were towing something back here, I don't know if you'd be happy or not. Probably not at times. Haven't really needed too much of clearance so far. You just find these like really rough spots like this right here. Just gotta go over them slowly. But it's one of those things where it's probably worth airing down a tire or something, but now the question is which way to go. Oh boy. I'm gonna continue straight. It says not maintained for passenger vehicles. Well, yeah. If I don't see any kind of signs or anything, then I might have to turn around. That might have been my blunder for the day. But we'll see. I do have some dirt road driving planned for this trip, just not here. Oh yeah, here's some spots for you. Yeah, now it's getting rough again. A lot of ruts. Now we're getting into the territory of saying you need some clearance for sure. How much I couldn't tell you. I'm not gonna say something misleading that somebody will get themselves in trouble, but you definitely don't want to be driving your Yugo back here. Or maybe you would. I think that would make a fantastic YouTube video. Take the worst cars you can imagine and see how much punishment you can put them through. Someone surely had to have done that. I need a sponsor though. If anybody wants to invest in that idea, call me. Send me an email to the Cactus Atlas at gmail.com and we'll make it happen somehow. I think you'd need a small crew though to do that one. Especially when the cars break down inevitably back here and you break them. I was just thinking, Slim's got 4 brand new tires on them, barely used. This is really the first drive of this sort that I've done with these tires. I had to change my other tires prematurely due to a faux pas someone made trying to patch and plug my tire that got the greenhorn, and he drilled a hole and ruined the tire. So the place where I had this done was trying to do some shenanigans about it, but the tire tread was just below, I guess, what they'd recommend. Thinking about, you know, some new tires, and usually a tire place would be very quick to tell you, oh yeah, you need new tires, but in this case, because they screwed up, they didn't want to do that. This is in the middle of my cancer treatment, like at a really harsh time where I had really bad pain. So I thought to talk about this really briefly because I wanted to properly thank Amy's parents, actually. I'll just say it, like they helped straighten the situation out, got 4 new tires out of it. I think we got a couple of free ones and then got a discount on the other ones or something like that, but thank you sincerely. We're getting our money's worth now on it, but normally I'd handle something like that, but boy, that was like I think that was in the peak of my post-cancer treatment pain and recovery. It was just, but yeah, I feel confident and good now because we have that. So Although I can tell you this section of road is one where I think you'd want to ideally air down, and I didn't plan on that, and it's not that bad, but still it's probably warranted if you're gonna come this way, as it wouldn't hurt. Boy, I hope I'm going the right way. And as luck would have it, Google Maps led me astray by leading me to think I was going to be taking a nice paved or graded road due to its estimated travel time from point to point. Not so. Instead, I found myself wandering around deteriorating roads, OHV trails, and a lack of clarity when Google Maps decided to just lose its route. Ultimately, I had to give up. Thanks, Google. Well, we're back. I drove back all the way back to where we started this route.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto US 89 North, South Main Street.
I am still confused, to be honest. I kind of just briefly looked at Google Maps and was gonna scroll in to see what the heck. So, if you want to do the paved way to go where I was going, it's like a whole hour and a half around, but it does recommend going this way. So Google, man. You guys gotta fix that. Please. You're gonna kill somebody. Anyway.
Turn left onto US 89
it was fun.
North, South Main Street.
I enjoyed that. I mean, I like driving around forest roads like that, but not when it's screwing with my plan, though. Then it gets annoying.
Continue on US 89 North for 5 miles.
What we're gonna do is, it won't affect you guys on this episode. I'm still gonna hit the spots that I'm supposed to hit. The next one being the Napoleon Dynamite house from the movie.
Sweet.
But we wasted a whole lot of time, and I still think it probably all balances out at the end of the day, because, let's see here, I should be there at 2 o'clock. And, oh yeah, so I had a lot of extra time planned to go do that because of the other 2 campgrounds that I'm now not going to get to film. So that's really what's being cut. Are there 2 national forest campgrounds somewhere back in there? One of them is a really big campground. So that's not how people must be going there. They must be taking the paved route because it's so big. I know there's probably RVs and trailers. There's no way you're towing something back the way I went. So that hopefully is the only loss on the trip, and I'm not taking the blame for it. I'm blaming Google all the way. Google, bad. It's the second time you've done something like that to me. I also got a view of people, I think, when I was passing the cave again, walking in that other entrance that I saw, that I mentioned on the way in, and I do think that's how you get in there. And it's probably like easy to do, but when I got there, everybody was standing on top looking down into that pit. So I thought, okay, that's what it is. And I didn't see anybody going around that other trail. There was nothing clear to indicate it from the parking lot. It'd be easy to miss. And I was gonna stop again and go in there, but that place was wall-to-wall cars. All passenger cars too, mind you. So to get to the Paris Ice Caves, if you want to see that, anybody can get back there. And if anybody wants to get grumpy with me and say, well, why are you showing everybody this and that? Dude, it's already known. That place was a madhouse, so don't blame me. We are quite a ways away from where we last spoke. I went the roundabout way on the pavement to get to the stop that I wanted to see.
Turn left onto North 800 East, North 8th East.
The Napoleon Dynamite house, as it's known, from the movie Napoleon Dynamite out here in Idaho. I saw it randomly on a map, and I was like, oh, we gotta go see that. So we're only like 3 minutes away from that. So I thought I'd start filming.
Turn left onto North 800 East, North 8th East.
For those of you familiar with the with this area, or with the movie, I should say. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate here. I thought you might enjoy
Head southeast on North 800 East, North 8th East.
seeing some of the terrain
In a
and
quarter mile, turn left onto East 800 North.
the land here. Now this is pinned on Google Maps, so like as if it's a tourist destination, so hopefully I'm not going to upset, you know, I'm in a public place, so I'm not going to go trespass on the property, but I do want to get out and film like the house for a second from the outside. So hopefully people are cool about that.
Turn left onto East 800 North.
It's a lot more out here than I thought it was gonna be. It's not like what I had in mind.
Continue on East 800 North for 3/4 of a mile.
But we're almost there. I wonder if we'll see Tina. Isn't that like the emu or ostrich or whatever they had?
Tina, come get some ham!
I don't want to get shot out here.
In a quarter mile, your destination will be on the left.
I think I might actually even see it. I don't want to wear out my welcome or anything around here, but I think it's going to be up here right on the left. I know it's like a brick house. It's right there.
Your destination is on the left.
Oh wow. I'm going to turn around up here and then we'll park, and then, you know what, I'm going to just park here and we're just going to run out really quick and check this out. And here it is. I believe this should be the house that Napoleon Dynamite lived in, right? I haven't watched the movie to compare, but it looks like it. I always feel awkward doing this sort of thing, but I think this is the actual house from the movie, Napoleon Dynamite. What do you know about that? You can see it's all farmland out here too, out in the middle of nowhere.
Hey, Lyle.
I think this is Preston, Idaho, and the Napoleon Dynamite house. I imagine they must be used to people pulling up and filming here. All right, I don't want to wear out my welcome here or be annoying, so I'm gonna try to be quick. I always feel awkward in these situations, but that is so cool. Isn't that fun? It is beautiful out here in this area though. I'd love to live in a place like this, I think. It's quite warm too. It's supposed to come through these mountains, I think, is what was supposed to happen, but we got thwarted. I'm not one of those YouTubers that does like movie locations typically. I just saw this on a map and said I gotta go see it. But it does resemble in my memory what the house looked like. So I'm not sure what else they filmed, like if there's other landmarks. There's a big hill with a P for Preston, Idaho over there. I don't know if that's in the movie or not, but the landscape certainly does look like I remember from the movie. A lot of those like round rolling hills and mountains around here. But anyway, the Napoleon Dynamite house. We'll head up the road here and turn around and we'll get another look at the house. So,
In 600 feet, turn left onto North 1600 East.
no, I'm gonna go back that way and then we'll catch the road Google. It's really cool
Turn
though.
left onto North 1600 East.
Well, how many of you guys like that movie? It's a goofy movie, right? It's silly, but it's supposed to be. There's a lot of farm stuff out here. All right. I know I'm on a public road, so it's within my right to film and do that, but still, you know, I feel like a creep kind of. But there it is. Just my luck to get stuck behind some big farming equipment like this. I'm at one point fascinated by it. I like big equipment like that, but I'm just like, I'm anxious to get to my destination now. So hopefully he doesn't turn the direction I'm going on the main road. I think what I'm gonna do, because we've had quite the adventure today, that whole national forest drive was a big chunk of my day. I'm technically still ahead of schedule somehow, despite all of that. I think because I got up early, and I think because we skipped two things, the two campgrounds I was gonna film. So that basically, between all of that, I think we got, good, we're not following them. We got a lot of time back, I guess. Not too bummed actually in retrospect about it. I mean, the two campgrounds that I missed aren't really big ticket items. They were just kind of on the way, and it was convenient to get to this location that we just saw, but clearly it wasn't. So that's really one of the main reasons why I plotted that route.
91 north.
So you don't have to listen to Google Maps talk the whole time, because it's gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna stop filming and then try to get a beeline up towards Massacre Rocks, and we'll resume there and give you a quick look. We made it. I dismounted all of my camera equipment off the truck because I was on this very fast moving Interstate 15. But we're here at Massacre Rocks State Park in Idaho. So this is my destination for tonight, camping tonight and tomorrow night. So usually I'd pull up and film as we drive into the campground, but today we're just gonna do it on foot. I just checked in, so now I'm gonna drive to the lower campground, as it's called, near the Snake River, and I'm gonna see about getting my tent and stuff just set up, get settled in, and then I already see lots of interesting things in this park, so I'm not gonna do a full thing, I think, on this episode. Actually, we'll get checked in, maybe scope out the river or something, and call it a day. We had quite an adventure today, or at least I did. I don't know how you guys thought about it, but I'm tired, so gonna get settled in. We'll take a quick peek around, and then I'll save like a tour of this for a different episode that I'm gonna maybe film later this afternoon and tomorrow. I'm here for 2 days, like I said. But for now, let's go ahead and set up camp, and then I'll show you what I chose to do. I'm pretty sure I'm going up here. I like it up there. I don't know why. I'll feel like the king of the world on top of this little mound. All right, camp is all set up now. I opted to put the tent down there, mainly because I realized this is pretty much solid rock. It's just kind of covered by a thin layer of dirt, so there is no staking in up here. And there aren't too many rocks laying about that I could weight the tent down with. Although I've got enough stuff in it to probably weigh it down. I just like to keep it tidy and just have it staked down to my preference. So I'm pleased with where it is. I'd like more shade, but that'll come soon. And boy, am I tired. I'm starting to feel it. So getting here a little earlier was the right call. I think what I'm gonna do now is let's go down and see if we can find the river, scout it out. I asked the guy where some good fishing spots are, and he made it sound like there's one right down a trail over here. So let's go see if we can find that. I think this is a park that history buffs would really enjoy, as well as outdoors folks. I think he said this is the trail. He said it was like near my site, so I chose wisely, I guess, for that reason. The Snake River is down this way, but we need to watch out for snakes too, because they got them here. They got Western Diamondback. Doubt we're gonna see anything, but especially now in the heat. But there's your first look at the river down there, the Snake River. I think we're gonna learn about this on a different episode, but I think this place was right off the Oregon Trail. The same one the game was made after. He mentioned an island, and I saw a bunch of reeds, and I think that actually might be back near the entrance to the campground. So this may not be the good fishing spot that he meant. Said people have been having luck by the marina. I don't know where the marina is yet. And by this island out there, and I don't know what it is. And I clarified that I'm shore fishing. Didn't bring a boat. Didn't bring my kayak on this trip, just don't have time. I was told the two types of fish you're gonna find here are smallmouth bass and trout. And this doesn't really get me all the way down to the shore, so not ideal. But it's good for our purposes though, isn't it? Water's clearer than I thought. I can actually see rocks through it. I thought it'd be like a really muddy river. And maybe it is at times, but right now it's not. I do know that they said the current is dangerous here and swimming's not. You gotta be careful, I guess. I don't think they prohibit swimming, but they said the current can be pretty strong, and I believe it. That is beautiful. Must have been quite the thing for early settlers. Anyway, so all you need to fish here, by the way, is an Idaho state license. You can get it online, print it at home if you want, which is what I did. And I bought it daily. I think I bought for today and tomorrow. And it's pretty cheap. And you don't need any extra tags or anything. Some states, I want to say Missouri State Parks does a thing where I think you need a license and tags. I think you have to buy inside the state park. So I think Montana and Idaho at least, and Wyoming are really easy. It's just a one-stop shop. And even in Wyoming, for example, that license, I believe, lets you fish in Grand Teton National Park, but Yellowstone requires something extra, I think, or a different license that you have to buy separately. So, but for the most part, all these three states, I love their policy. It's just simple. Buy it once. Yeah, I don't think this is exactly where the gentleman was talking about, but I think as for just a nice trail to enjoy, and to get some shade and get down by the water, which is a little cooling, and get some cool views of the Snake River here in Idaho. This is a good spot. All right, so I'm calling it. You guys got your money's worth, I hope, today. I'm tired. So I'm gonna go finish up, put this away, and then go maybe take a shower. They do have showers here, and I checked, and they're open and operational. So I think that's calling my name. Thanks again for joining me on this one today. We'll be back with another episode on this road trip, and keep joining us. Keep cheering me on. See you on the next one.